Okay guys, if you watched my other video, you saw I just put on this right here, this brand new rotor, and I'm gonna go ahead and swap out my brake pads here. And what I did is gotta loosen that. There's a little tiny cotter pin right here you want to pull out. Go ahead and do that real quick. And of course, what I always remind myself, and I'll remind you guys as well, just remember you're working on a bike, not a car. If you do your own car repairs, it can be tempting to over tighten things. You don't want to do that on your bike. Once I get it pretty snug, I usually go maybe another quarter turn, but that's it. So I'm just going to go ahead and back this bar out here while I'm talking. And if you've done the brakes on your car, so you'll know with disc brakes, when the pads wear out, there's a little piston in there that gets pushed. You'll need to push it back. It's the same thing with your bike pads here. So the first thing I'm going to do is pull out this little spring. I think it's called an expansion something or other, but it'll just slowly pop out here. There we go. Grab it with your hand. So that was on the inside of your brake pads, okay? Your new set should have a brand new one. In fact, I'll show you. Here's my new ones here. Disc brake rotors. There's the new pads there. Okay? And then now what you're going to want to slowly do is lift these brake pads out. They'll slide right out. Sometimes you might not even need a screw. What? You know what? Let me pull these out and I'll be right back so I can use two hands. Okay guys, so got the old pads out, and these ones actually are not that worn. I just bought this bike used from Craigslist, and I think they're probably pretty warped, but you just want to double check. So the new brake pad is on the left. Just want to make sure that they line up, they're compatible, just in case you get sold the wrong one. These match up really well. So I'm gonna go ahead and see it. I think these are just gonna slide in, but if you can see piston in there on that side, it's not even pushed out very far because these brake pads weren't that bad. I'm guessing I'm gonna be able to slide these in here pretty easy. So yeah, we're just going right in. So push them on down. And just so you know, the circle part goes toward the back, and this little loop goes toward the front. And yeah, so they just slide right in there. Sorry, you might have to turn your heads, but there you go. Okay, and then your new pad should come with a new one of these things. And that's just going to go right on the inside of your pads there. I'll need two hands to do it. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, it actually takes a little bit of finagling to get that last piece in there. It sits right in the middle, and it basically, there's a little opening between the brake pad and your rotor, and you can kind of see it down in there, and that's just pushing. It helps push your brake pads back out when you're not using them, but it sits down there pretty firm. And so once you got that in there, it did take a little bit of finagling to get it in there, but if you got any questions or whatever, just let me know. And you're gonna slide that bar back in, and it might take a little bit to get the holes lined up. There it goes, pretty good. And I'm gonna go ahead and retighten this. And again, just a reminder, not super tight. Once I get it here pretty tight, I'll just go another quarter turn or so. So, all right, there we go. Okay, that's as tight as I'm gonna go. And then I'll put in the cotter pin on this side, and that's it. So not too bad. There's some just some easy rolling hills around my neighborhood. I'll probably go and try it before I hit the trails, and I'd advise the same. And I think when you're breaking them in, they might be a little noisy, new pads and rotors at first, but sometimes what I'll do is I'll hold the brake, and I'll just pedal really hard while holding the brake, gets me pretty winded, but breaks them in good. So any questions, let me know in the comments, and have a great time on the trails, guys.